Have you ever discovered a truth so shocking that it rewrote your entire childhood in a single heartbeat? A truth so heavy that it didn't just change how you saw someone, it changed how you saw yourself? If you've ever felt the ground shift under your feet because of a secret someone tried to bury, then you'll understand exactly what happened to me. Before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you never miss stories like this. Alright, deep breath. Here we go. My name is Evan, and for most of my life, I believed my parents' divorce was what my father called a peaceful end to an exhausted marriage. He used to say those words so calmly, almost rehearsed. According to him, he and my mom had changed, grown differently, lived separate emotional lives, and all the other poetic phrases adults use when they want you to accept something without asking questions. I was 14 when they split, young enough to be confused, old enough to know that something didn't add up. My mom, Marissa, never talked badly about my dad. She just kept her shoulders squared and her voice steady whenever I asked why things fell apart. But sometimes, late at night when she thought I was asleep, I'd hear her sigh in that shaky way people do when they're holding back everything they're afraid to say. Growing up, I tried to convince myself it didn't matter, that divorces happen, that love fades, that life moves on. And for a long time, I believed that. But the thing about the truth is, no matter how deeply someone buries it, it has a way of clawing back up. And mine arrived 8 years later, disguised as a casual backyard barbecue. When I turned 22, my dad remarried. Her name was Lydia. I didn't know much about her other than the fact that she smiled in a way that felt overly practiced, like she wanted everyone to see how happy she and my dad were. I only met her twice before the wedding. Dad kept things surprisingly quiet for a man who had always been loud about everything. He said she was private. He said she was sensitive. He said we'd get to know each other when the time felt right. Honestly, I didn't care. I wasn't the type of kid who wished his parents would reunite. The damage was done long ago. If Dad had found someone who made him less grumpy and less bitter about the world, good for him. For the first few years of their marriage, I kept my distance. Visits every few months, holiday dinners, birthday check-ins, but nothing close, nothing intimate. And Dad didn't push. That should have been the first sign that something was off. My father, who always demanded closeness, who hated when people drifted from him, never once tried to pull me closer to his new wife. But I didn't think too much about it. Not then. The barbecue happened on a warm Saturday evening at Dad and Lydia's place. Their backyard looked like a magazine photo. String lights, polished wooden deck, white chairs lined up neatly like soldiers, and a brand new grill my dad bragged about as if he'd handcrafted it with his bare hands. Old coworkers, neighbors, extended family. Everyone was there. Everyone except my mom, of course. She never stepped foot near Dad's new life. I remember setting down the bowl of pasta salad I brought and scanning the crowd. Dad was handing out beers, laughing a little too loud. Lydia was drifting from guest to guest, her voice sweet, her laugh high-pitched. People seemed to like her. I wanted to like her too. I really did. But something about her always felt familiar, not in a friendly way. More like a smell or a sound from childhood that you can't quite place. I ignored the feeling. I shouldn't have. About an hour into the party, one of Dad's old coworkers, Janet, a woman I vaguely remembered from when I was a kid, waved me over. She was already tipsy, holding a plastic cup of wine that sloshed every time she gestured. "Evan, good to see you," she said, pulling me into a half hug. "You too," I replied politely. Then she leaned closer, lowering her voice like she was about to tell me a punchline. But her words were anything but funny. "It's wild," she murmured. "He finally married her after all those years sneaking around." I blinked. "What?" Janet laughed like it was common knowledge. "You know, her." She nudged her chin toward Lydia, who was arranging food on the table. "The woman he used to slip out to help with work paperwork, the mystery girlfriend." My stomach dropped so fast it felt like the ground fell away from my feet. For a few seconds, I couldn't hear anything. Not the music, not the chatter, not even my own heartbeat. Everything blurred. "What are you talking about?" I managed to ask. Janet froze, realizing she'd said something she shouldn't have. Oh dear, you didn't know?" She looked genuinely stunned. "No," I whispered. "I didn't know anything." She covered her mouth with her hand. "I assumed. Your dad said he and your mom just drifted apart. But everyone at the company knew he was seeing someone. For years." I felt the world tilt again. She kept talking, voice slurred slightly, unaware that every word was slicing me open. "They'd sneak lunches, disappear at conferences, come back pretending nothing happened. People joked about it. We all thought it was obvious." I stepped back. My thoughts were a mess of sharp, tangled threads. My chest felt tight, like someone was pressing a fist against my ribs. My mom's late-night sighs, her quiet sadness, her unspoken doubts. All of it clicked into place, and I hated that it made sense. Suddenly, I heard laughter behind me. My dad's laughter. Deep, carefree, the same carefree he probably used during those secret lunches. The noise twisted something inside me. I walked away from Janet, needing air. The backyard felt too small. Every conversation sounded like static. I ended up standing by the fence, gripping the wood so tightly my knuckles turned white. I must have stood there for 5 or 6 minutes before Dad finally noticed I wasn't mingling. He walked over, still holding a beer. "Everything okay, champ?" he asked, smiling like nothing was wrong. I looked at him, and for the first time in my life, I didn't recognize him. He looked like my father on the outside. Same square jaw, same confident posture. But everything underneath felt like a stranger. "Who's Lydia?" I asked quietly. His smile faltered. "What do you mean?" I said, letting out a shaky breath. "How long were you seeing her before the divorce?" His eyes changed instantly. Not guilt, not sadness, just annoyance. The same annoyance people feel when they drop something and don't want to pick it up. "That was a lifetime ago," he muttered. "Let it go. Let it go. Let it go." Like it was a toy I was refusing to share. Like it wasn't the truth of my own childhood. Like he wasn't asking me to swallow a lie I never asked to carry. "Did you cheat on Mom?" My voice cracked despite my efforts. He sighed loudly. "You're too old to be stuck in the past like this." "Just tell me the truth," I insisted. "Did you cheat? Yes or no?" He didn't answer, not with words. He just looked away. And that silence was louder than any confession. I walked out of the barbecue without saying goodbye. My dad called after me, but I didn't turn around. Lydia's face appeared in the doorway, concern written all over it. But I didn't care. When I got to my car, I slammed the door shut and just sat there. My hands were shaking so hard, I had to grip the steering wheel just to steady myself. 8 years. 8 years of believing a story that was never true. 8 years of making peace with something that was built on a lie. 8 years of thinking my mom was overly suspicious. But she wasn't paranoid. She was right, all along. And Dad let me grow up thinking she was the one who misunderstood their marriage. He let me carry his lie like it was a suitcase I had agreed to hold. I drove home in silence. No music, no thoughts. Just a hollow, aching numbness spreading through my chest. When I got home, Mom was watering the plants on the porch. She looked up, surprised to see me so early. "Hey, sweetheart, everything okay?" For a moment, I wanted to lie, to protect her, to keep the past buried like Dad wanted. But I couldn't do it. Not anymore. "Mom, who was the woman Dad was seeing?" She froze. The watering can slipped slightly in her hand. After a few moments, she set it down, wiped her palms on her jeans, and sat on the porch step. "Come sit," she whispered. I sat beside her. She took a deep breath. "I never had proof," she said softly. "But there were signs. Missing nights, strange excuses, whispered phone calls. Why didn't you tell me?" I wasn't accusing her. I genuinely wanted to know. "Because you were a child," she replied. "And children deserve to love their parents without carrying the weight of their parents' mistakes." Her voice trembled. "I didn't want to break your heart just to prove mine was broken." Those words, they cracked something inside me. Not in a painful way, but in a way that let the truth finally breathe. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't want you to have to find out like this." I leaned into her shoulder. She wrapped her arms around me, just like she used to when I was little. And for a moment, I felt safe again. But the safety didn't erase the truth. It didn't erase the betrayal. And it didn't erase the anger slowly building inside me. Because my dad didn't just break my mother's trust. He broke mine. And what came after? Well, that was only the beginning. Sometimes the truth doesn't set you free right away. It shatters you first. But you can't heal from a lie until you finally see the truth beneath it. When I woke the next morning, the weight of everything hit me all over again. That kind of truth doesn't dissolve overnight. It sits on your chest like a boulder, pressing deeper the more you try to ignore it. I stared at the ceiling for a long time, letting the memories from the barbecue play in slow motion. The coworkers' careless words, my father's silence, the devastation on my mom's face. I felt torn between numbness and fury, like my emotions couldn't decide which one deserved to take control. And beneath all of it was a whisper, something I hadn't acknowledged aloud yet. My father lied to me, not once, not occasionally, but for years, repeatedly, effortlessly. That realization cut deeper than any confession could have. I didn't plan to confront him again, not at first. I needed time to think, time to breathe, time to process the fact that my entire childhood narrative had been rewritten without my consent. But life rarely gives you the time you want. Because around noon, my phone buzzed. It was my dad. "Dad, we need to talk. Come by the house later." I stared at the screen, heat rising in my chest. He wasn't asking, he was commanding, just like always, as if he still believed he had the right to control how I felt or what I did. I didn't reply for hours. Eventually, I typed, "I'm not ready to talk." His response was immediate. "You're being dramatic. This isn't a big deal. Come over." "Not a big deal." The words triggered something inside me. The same dismissiveness he used when I was a kid, asking questions he didn't want to answer. The same tone he used whenever my mom confronted him about late nights or missing weekends. Suddenly, it became clear. He didn't want to talk. He wanted to control the narrative, and I wasn't a child he could manipulate anymore. That afternoon, my mom suggested we go for a drive. Something simple. Something quiet. We ended up at a small lakeside park we used to visit when I was a kid. She bought ice cream even though it was too cold for it, claiming it helps the heart remember sweeter things. We sat on a bench overlooking the water. "Your dad texted," she said gently. "I know," I replied. "I'm not going." Mom nodded as if she had expected that answer. For a while, we just sat there listening to the soft lap of water brushing against the rocks. It was peaceful, the kind of peace I desperately needed. But calm moments don't last forever. Eventually, Mom exhaled deeply. "I should apologize," she whispered. I looked at her, startled. "For what?" "For staying quiet," she said, staring at the lake. "For not telling you what I suspected. For letting you believe a story that wasn't true." I shook my head. "Mom, you were trying to protect me." She laughed, one of those broken laughs filled with exhaustion. That's what I told myself, but maybe I was also trying to protect myself. I didn't want to expose something I wasn't strong enough to face. Her eyes glistened, though she didn't cry. My mother rarely cried in front of me. "Do you want to know the part that hurt the most?" she asked quietly. I nodded. "It wasn't that he cheated," she said. "It was that he lied so effortlessly. He lied like it was a language he had mastered." A chill ran down my spine, because that was exactly how he was talking to me now. "And now," she continued, "he will try the same thing with you." Later that evening, my aunt, Mom's younger sister Claire, stopped by with groceries. She had a loud personality, bright red hair, and a habit of talking with her hands like she was conducting an orchestra. The second she saw me, she gasped dramatically. Well, the prodigal nephew returns early from the lion's den," I groaned. "Aunt Claire, please." "Oh, honey, everyone at that barbecue knows now," she said. "You stormed out like a reality TV contestant." "I didn't storm," I muttered. "You stormed," she said confidently. She set the bags on the counter and turned serious. "I'm glad you found out," she murmured. "Secrets like that grow teeth. They bite when you're not looking." I sighed. I just wish he would have told me the truth, instead of letting me live in that lie. She placed a hand on my shoulder. "He wasn't protecting you. He was protecting himself." Those words stayed with me long after she left. The next day, my father showed up at my apartment. Unannounced. I was making coffee when I heard the knock. The sharp, heavy, impatient kind of knock he always used. My chest tightened. I opened the door anyway. He stood there, arms crossed, jaw clenched. "We're talking," he said. No greeting, no apology, just a command. "Not like this," I replied, stepping back. He pushed his way inside anyway. Just like old times, just like every argument he ever had with my mother. "Why are you doing this?" he demanded. "Doing what?" I asked. "This dramatics," he snapped. "Acting like some victim. You're an adult. What happened between me and your mother was complicated. "Did you cheat?" I asked again, forcing the words out slowly. "Just answer the question." He ran a hand through his hair and scoffed. "Oh, for God's sake, this was nearly a decade ago," he said. "Why are you digging it up? It doesn't matter." "It matters to me," I said firmly. He threw his hands up. "Fine, yes, I was seeing her, but your mother and I were falling apart anyway. We weren't in love anymore." I swallowed hard. "So you let me grow up thinking Mom was the one who wanted the divorce." "She practically did," he said. "She stopped trying. She was cold, distant." I stepped closer, glaring. "Or maybe," I said quietly, "she stopped trying because you weren't trying at all." He went silent, his eyes hardened. "You don't know anything," he said. "You were a kid." "And that's why you thought you could lie to me," I replied. His jaw flexed. He wasn't used to being challenged, certainly not by me. "I'm your father," he said, voice lowering. "You owe me respect." "No," I said, trembling with adrenaline. "I owe you honesty. And you owe me the truth." He scoffed. "You're being manipulated by your mother. She always wanted you to hate me." "She never said a bad word about you," I snapped. "You did this, not her." His face reddened, veins forming along his temples. "This is exactly why I kept my distance," he muttered. "You're too much like her. Emotional, irrational." My hands curled into fists. "I'm done," I said quietly. "I need space from you." "What?" he barked. "You can't just cut me out because of something that happened 8 years ago." "Yes," I said. "I can." He stared at me like I was speaking a foreign language. Then, in a tone dripping with bitterness, he said, "You'll regret this, Evan." He walked out, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the frame. I didn't chase him. I didn't apologize. I didn't explain. For once, I let him walk away. And the silence that followed was the most peaceful sound I had ever heard. But the story didn't end there. 2 days later, I got a text from Lydia. Not a long message, just 2 words. "I'm sorry." I stared at the screen, my emotions swirling. Anger, curiosity, confusion. I didn't respond, but she kept texting. "Please talk to me. I didn't know you didn't know. He said you were aware." That one made my breath catch. He said you were aware. Of course he did. Of course he lied to her too. I typed back, "Can we talk somewhere neutral?" "Not your house." She replied instantly. "Yes, just tell me where." We agreed to meet at a small cafe downtown. The next morning, I arrived first. I sat at a corner table, tapping my foot nervously. I didn't know what I wanted from this conversation. Closure, maybe, or clarity, or just answers. When Lydia walked in, she looked different from the woman I'd seen at the barbecue. Smaller somehow, less composed. Her makeup wasn't as perfect, her posture less poised. She approached slowly. "Hi," she whispered. I nodded. She sat down across from me, her hands trembling slightly. "Thank you for coming," she said. "I didn't think you'd want to see me." "I'm not here to attack you," I said. "I just need the truth." She exhaled shakily. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she said. Her voice cracked. "When your dad told people we were together years ago, he said your parents were separated. I thought it was true." A cold chill ran through me. So you didn't know he was still married? I asked. She shook her head. I didn't at first. Later, I suspected. But by then, I was already involved. Her eyes filled with tears. I should have walked away, she whispered. But he made me feel like I was the only person who understood him. That line, I had heard it before. My mom had said the same thing years ago about him. Lydia wiped her eyes. I want you to know something, she said. I never wanted to take your mom's place. I never wanted to be part of the reason your family broke. But your dad, he doesn't tell the truth unless it benefits him. I stared at her, absorbing every word. He told me your mother was cold, she continued. He told me she didn't care about him, that she pushed him away. He told me, she paused, swallowing hard. He told me you didn't like her much, that you two barely talked. My jaw dropped. That's a lie, I said. My mom is the only person who never lied to me. Lydia nodded sadly. I know that now, she whispered. Your father, he lies the way some people breathe, automatically. The cafe felt too quiet, too small to contain everything unraveling between us. I'm sorry, she repeated. I didn't come into his life to destroy yours, but he used me to rewrite his mistakes, and I let him. I didn't forgive her, not then, but I appreciated her honesty. For the first time since the barbecue, I felt the fog in my mind begin to lift. When I got home, I told my mom everything. She listened quietly, nodding here and there, absorbing it all with that calm strength she always carried. I'm glad she told you the truth, she said gently. She didn't owe you that, but she gave it anyway. I looked at my mom, really looked at her. Years of quiet resilience, years of rebuilding her life, years of carrying a burden she never asked for. And she still spoke with grace. You deserved better, I whispered. She smiled softly. Maybe, she said, but now you know. And knowing is the first step to healing. Her words wrapped around me like a warm blanket. She was right. This wasn't just about my father's betrayal. It was about reclaiming my own story, my own truth. That night, I sat alone in my room, the lights dimmed, the air still. For the first time in years, I allowed myself to feel grief. Grief for the dad I thought I had. Grief for the childhood I misunderstood. Grief for the trust that would never return. I cried, hard, but the tears weren't weak. They were cleansing, freeing. When the sobs finally quieted, I felt a new stillness settle within me, a clarity I hadn't felt since I was a kid. I didn't know what the future held with my father, whether we'd ever repair anything, whether I even wanted to. But I knew one thing for certain. The truth was out, and I wasn't going back into the dark. For days after my conversation with Lydia, I lived in a strange kind of limbo. Not angry, not calm, just suspended between emotions I hadn't yet named. It felt like standing in the doorway between two rooms, one filled with the life I thought I had, the other filled with the truth I never asked for. I didn't speak to my dad, didn't answer his calls, didn't read his texts. Every time he reached out, my chest tightened, as if my buddy still remembered what it felt like to be a child trying to earn his approval. But I didn't owe him that anymore, not after everything. Meanwhile, my mom seemed lighter, not because she enjoyed seeing me distance myself from my father, She made it very clear she didn't. But because she could finally speak openly, she didn't have to protect me from the truth anymore. She didn't have to pretend for my sake. One evening, she invited me to dinner. Nothing fancy, just spaghetti and garlic bread, the comfort meal she always made on days she sensed I needed grounding. We were halfway through eating when she suddenly put her fork down and said quietly, "You know, your father wasn't always this person." I looked up. "What do you mean?" She sighed. "When we first met, he was charming, funny. He made me feel like I was the only person in the world who saw him. But somewhere along the line, he stopped being honest, not just with me, with himself." She took a sip of water, thinking, he needed admiration the way most people need air. And when life didn't give it to him anymore, he looked for it elsewhere. And I became the villain in his mind because it was easier than facing the truth. Her voice was soft, not bitter, not resentful, just tired. I swallowed. "Mom, why did you stay so long?" She smiled sadly. "For you." Those 2 words hit me like a hammer, because I remembered all the nights she stayed awake, all the arguments she tried to silence, all the excuses she made. She stood up and began clearing the table. "But just because I stayed," she said over her shoulder, "doesn't mean you should stay stuck." Her voice cracked slightly. "You're allowed to walk away from anyone who hurts you, even if that person is your father." Those words sunk deep into me. A few days later, my Aunt Claire invited me to her house under the pretense of needing help fixing her router. Spoiler, the router was fine. She wanted to talk. The second I walked through the door, she handed me a mug of hot cocoa. Her comfort solution for every emotional crisis since I was 8. "I'm proud of you," she said bluntly. "For what?" I asked. "For finally seeing your father for who he is, for protecting your peace, for not letting him guilt you into silence." I stared into the mug, watching the steam rise. "I don't know if I'm doing the right thing," I admitted. Her expression softened. "There's no perfect choice here, kiddo. But there is a healthy one, and you're making that one." She sat across from me, leaning forward. "Let me tell you something I've never told you," she said. I looked up. "When your parents divorced, your dad told everyone that your mom gave up, that she stopped loving him. But the truth is, he was afraid she'd leave him because she finally saw through him." I blinked. "What do you mean?" "I mean," she said carefully, "cheaters don't cheat because they're unhappy. They cheat because they're cowards. Your father was terrified of being truly known. So he kept finding new people who didn't know the real him yet." I swallowed. "But he always acted confident." Aunt Claire laughed a sad little laugh. "Confidence isn't the same as courage." That line stuck with me. But the moment everything truly changed was a phone call I didn't expect. Late one night, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "This is Mark. Call me." Mark was another old coworker of my dad's. The same place where the affair had apparently been common knowledge. Curiosity and fear pulsed through me. I called him. He answered almost immediately. "Evan," he said, his voice deep and slightly strained. "I've been debating whether to reach out, but I heard what happened." "You heard?" My voice tightened. Was everyone talking about my family? "Yes," he said. "People gossip. I'm sorry you had to find out like that, but I think there's more you need to know." My stomach dropped. More? He sighed. I don't want to hurt you, but I knew your dad for 15 years, and I saw things. Things I thought you should know before deciding how to move forward. I held my breath. Your father didn't just cheat once, he said. The room went still. He cheated often, with different women. Lydia wasn't the first. I felt my pulse thundering. Are you sure? I was there, he said simply. I watched him lie to everyone. He bragged about it sometimes, said he deserved better because your mom didn't appreciate him. My hands were shaking so badly I had to rest the phone against my shoulder. But he always acted like he loved her, I whispered. He liked the idea of her, Mark said, but he didn't treat her like someone he respected. The words felt like knives. And the worst part, he added, I didn't want to hear it, but I listened. He told people you'd understand when you grew up, that kids forget, that you'd eventually take his side. Something broke inside me then, cleanly, irrevocably. It was the final snap of a branch already weakening under too much weight. I thanked Mark for telling me. He apologized again. Then we hung up. Afterward, I sat alone in the dark, every piece of truth settling into place like jagged shards forming one painful picture. My dad hadn't just made a mistake. He hadn't just hurt my mom. He had built his life, his marriage, his relationships, his identity on lies. And he expected me to inherit them. But I wasn't going to. The next morning, I woke with an unusual sense of clarity. Not peace, not relief, just certainty. I needed closure. And closure required one final conversation. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to beg for explanations. I just wanted to say what I needed to say and walk away on my own terms. So I texted him. We need to talk, in person. Just us. He replied immediately. Finally, come by today. No apology, no accountability. Just impatience, typical. His house felt different when I walked in. Colder, bigger, emptier. Lydia wasn't there. He said she had gone to visit family. The air felt still, like the house was holding its breath. He gestured for me to sit. I didn't. Say what you came to say, he said. So I did. I know everything, I said evenly. About the affair, about the other women, about the lies, about how long it went on, about what you told people about Mom, about what you told them about me. His face went blank. You don't know anything, he said quietly. I stepped closer. I know enough, I said, and I'm done pretending your lies didn't hurt me. He opened his mouth to speak, but I raised my hand. I'm not here to argue. I'm here to tell you this. I'm stepping back from our relationship. He stared at me like I had slapped him. That's ridiculous, he snapped. You're being emotional, overreacting. You're letting other people fill your head with, stop, I said calmly. He went silent. I spent my whole life believing your version of things, and I'm choosing not to anymore. His jaw tensed. You're my son, he said. You don't get to cut me out. I don't want to cut you out, I said quietly. But I can't be close to someone who refuses to take responsibility for the damage they caused. He took a step forward. I'm your father, he repeated. "And I'm your son," I whispered. "But you didn't treat me like one. You treated me like someone you needed to manipulate. Someone who had to believe your story so you didn't have to face the consequences of your own choices." His eyes flashed with something. Anger, maybe. Or fear. "You're throwing your family away," he said. "No," I said. "I'm protecting what little family I have left." For the first time, his expression cracked. Just a flicker. A glimpse of the man beneath the armor. But it didn't change anything. "I hope," I said softly, "that one day you understand why I had to do this." Then I walked toward the door. He didn't call my name. He didn't ask me to stay. He didn't apologize. He just watched me leave. And this time, I didn't look back. When I got home, my mom was waiting with 2 mugs of hot tea. She didn't say anything. She didn't need to. I sat beside her on the couch, resting my head against her shoulder. For the first time in years, I felt a strange sense of peace settle inside me. Not happiness, not joy, but peace. The truth had been painful, devastating, heartbreaking. But it had also freed me. I wasn't carrying his lie anymore. I wasn't responsible for protecting his reputation. I wasn't the child stuck in the middle of a broken marriage. I was finally me, and I was choosing honesty, choosing healing, choosing the people who showed love not through words, but through actions. Over the next few months, my father and I barely spoke. Not out of anger, but out of necessity. Distance can be a form of healing too. A way to clear the air, to rebuild boundaries, to breathe again. Lydia reached out once, just to say she hoped I was doing better. I wished her well. I didn't blame her anymore. She was trapped in his web too. As for my father, I don't know if he ever truly understood why I stepped back. Maybe he will one day. Maybe he won't. But his understanding wasn't my responsibility anymore. I stopped waiting for him to be someone he couldn't be. Stopped hoping he would magically turn into the father I had imagined he was. Instead, I focused on the parent who had always been there. The one who stayed. The one who loved me honestly. The one who told me the truth even when it hurt. My mom, my anchor, my quiet hero. And slowly, life began to feel lighter again. Sometimes the truth doesn't break your family. It reveals who was breaking it all along. And when the truth finally comes out, you're given a choice. Cling to the version of someone you wish existed, or accept the reality of who they are and choose yourself. Healing begins the moment you stop carrying someone else's lies. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.